So he's Shuklambara. He's covered by purity and covered by whiteness, and we're hearing about the different coverings he had. One covering he had that made him pure, and one covering he had that made him white and pure and clean was that he was a great devotee. Paramahanta. Mahatma, great devotee. And he was always engaged in Swadharma. Whatever his particular duties were, he was engaged. He didn't give up his activities. Now what else would he do? Navadvipe gade Julilaye Kande Bhikshakari Aharanisha Krishna Bali Kande. He would take a bag on his shoulder, Julilaye Kande, and go beg alms from house to house in Navadvip. What we call Madhukari. He's begging alms. In other words, he wasn't working, didn't have a government job. He wasn't working in a school. He wasn't a doctor, computer operator. He was simply begging. And the nature of begging is sometimes you get something, sometimes you don't. It certainly generates the utmost humility. A beggar has to be humble, because people insult beggars sometimes. They chase them, they throw stones on them, they mock them, they ridicule them. But it forces one to depend more and more on God. It's dependence. When you have no money and no food, then you're in a very dependent position. You can't survive without food. So when you're dependent, naturally you feel something humble also. What else would he do? Ahar Nisha Krishna Bali Kande. Day and night, Ahara Nisha, he was always crying. Well, we do that also. We're also crying for money, crying for a husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. Everyone's crying for something, new job, better apartment. We cry. Material energy makes us all cry. But he was crying while chanting Krishna's names. Krishna Bali Kande. Ahara Nisha Krishna Bali Kande. So now we have further revelation of his character. Why he was covered by Shukla. Why he was covered by Shuklambara, Shukla Ambara, Digambara Shukadeva Goswami, Vishvambara Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He covers the universe, liberates the universe. So he's covered with purity. The purity of crying for Krishna, chanting Krishna's name and crying. And Haranisha means if you're day and night crying Krishna's name, then what does that mean? It means you're not sleeping. And we already heard that he's begging for alms, so he's not eating. When he's not eating, he's not sleeping. He's eating whatever roti anyone gets, and he has. So this is a situation. What a great! And that's why he's Parama Mahanta. What, you want to be a Parama Mahanta? Then become a beggar. You want to be a Parama Mahanta, a great devotee? Don't sleep, day or night. You want to be a Paramahanta, Mahanta? Then always chant Krishna's name, and while crying, always chant Krishna's name. Well, no thanks. That's a little bit too much to demand. But these, in other words, we're saying this person is a Paramahanta, Parama Mahanta. Mahanta, he's a Mahanta, a great personality, Shuklambara Brahmachari. Well, what are the characteristics? What are the characteristics that give you this title? Like someone says, I'm the Prime Minister of India. Oh, how so? Well, there was an election, I won so many votes, or the parliament, and this and that, and I was chosen. So these are the characteristics. Bikari kariya gyan, loke nahi chine, daridra avadi karaye, bikshatane. The general people of Nadia, they thought that Shuklambara Brahmachari was a bikari, a beggar, and therefore they could not recognize him. He was so poor that he had to beg alms to maintain himself. So it's very difficult to judge the position of another person, especially a devotee. They could not understand his real wealth, his inner wealth of Krishna Bhakti, Sampati, Antar Sampati, the inner wealth, the great wealth, Sampati, Bhakti Sampati, the wealth of love for Krishna that he had in his heart. Internally wealthy, externally poor. And most of we all are externally wealthy, internally poor. Somebody looks at us, oh, you have very nice clothes, you have very nice jewelry, you have nice makeup, nice lipstick, nail polish, everything. Nice gutty, nice apartment. But internally bankrupt. Internally bankrupt, overdrawn, bankrupt, nothing. So people felt, oh, he's just a beggar, he can't maintain himself. This poor man, too bad. No proper house, no proper clothing and food, all night long. Because he must be crying because he's hungry all night long. Oh, Krishna, Krishna. He must have hunger pangs, his belly is empty. So he's crying all night. But Vrindavan Das Thakur is showing and will show how wealthy this person was. They're saying, oh, you're Daridra. Daridra avadi karaye bhikshatane. You're Daridra. You're very, very poor. Bhiksha kari divase jekichu viprapai Krishnera naivedya kari tabe shesha khai. After begging during the day, the Brahmin offered whatever he received to Krishna. Krishna naivedya. Idam naivedyam, like that. And he accepted his remnants. Shesha khai. At the end or afterwards, he ate the remnants, Krishna prasad. Krishnananda prasade taridriya nahi jane baliya vedaya Krishna sakala bhavane. In the ecstasy of receiving Krishna's mercy, Shukumbara did not know poverty. Shukumbara brahmachari would chant Krishna's names as he wandered from house to house. So he was drinking nectar. Pratipadam purnamritam swadanam. Chaitanya Shikshastakam, right? Pratipadam purnamritam swadanam. This is a Sankirtan. Cheto darpanam arjanam bhava mahadavagni nirvapanam shreya kaivava chandrakavacharanam vidyavada jivanam anandam buddhivardhanam pratipadam purnamritam swadanam. Amritam swadanam. Pratipadam, step after step, one is in the advanced stages of Krishna consciousness, he relishes bliss at every step. So what does it say? He would chant Krishna's names as he wandered from house to house. That means pratipadam. Wandering means on your feet, step after step. He was chanting Krishna, Krishna, Krishna's name. And he was Krishnananda Prasadi. Naijani. He did not know poverty. Oh, you say I'm Daridra? I don't think so. I'm Daridra? Me Daridra? I'm not Daridra. I'm chanting Krishna's name. Nadanam najanam nasundaram kavidam bhajagadishakamya. He didn't have anything laid up in this world. No fixed accounts, no FDRs, no securities, no bank deposit. But he had this wealth. He did not know poverty. He would chant Krishna's names as he wandered from house to house. So you can remember Shukumbara Brahmachari when you go apartment to apartment. Krishnananda Prasadi. You take Krishna's Prasad in the morning and experience bliss. Then you go door to door and distribute the bliss. I've come to your house to distribute bliss. You want some bliss? You want some ecstasy? Yeah, you take this book, $10, and you'll have ecstasy. No, thanks. Okay, I'll take my ecstasy and distribute it somewhere else. Krishnananda Prasadi. He says, Sakale Bhavan. Bhavan means house. Sakala, all the houses, house to house, he went to every house. So this is an old practice of Lord Chaitanya's followers going door to door, Sankirtan. What's he doing? Door to door Sankirtan. Right? He's going door to door and he's chanting Krishna, 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 Hare Krishna, whatever. Then they open the door and he's saying, can you please give a donation? So what are we doing? Krishna, 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 Hare Krishna. Chanting, maybe you have a clicker sometimes, you walk around the hallways, chant a clicker. I used to do that. Just to keep track and see how many names I could knock off in the apartment or something. And then he say, excuse me, And we're begging, we're beggars. We're just bhikshu, we're begging. We're begging them, please take Krishna Prem. Namo Maha Vadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate. Vadanyaya. Lord Chaitanya is giving it to us. We're downline distributors. It's his product and we're distributing it on his behalf. He's the gardener. He planted the tree of Prem. And the tree produced thousands and millions of fruits. And he says, alone I can't distribute all these fruits. I need so much help. So we say, okay, look, I'll help. Okay. And he puts in a big basket all these mango fruits full of Prem. He says, look, go, Jao. Oh, hey, hello, Hare Krishna, yeah, oh yeah, see, I'm just selling Hare Krishna. Yeah, take this fruit, we're giving this Prem Phal. Mahamantra and this Bhagavatam. Yeah. Oh, you give some dakshin, you give something. Give and take. Love is like this, give and take. We're giving you this, you give something for Krishna service. So the same thing, he's doing the same thing. He's doing Nam Sankirtan, asking for a donation. We're doing Nam Sankirtan. We get a donation, we give them a book. And the book gives them everything. They get the Sampati, Prem Sampati. Perfection in a book. Perfection in a word. Perfection in a name. This is the kripa, the karuna, of the pracharak, of the preacher. He's going door to door to give love of God. What a beautiful, most beautiful, wonderful engagement. And if people give me some piece of paper, I'm going to take a piece of purple paper, green paper, yellow paper, different kind of monies they have, 10, 20, 50, 100. I'm giving you mangoes, and you're giving me a piece of paper. Can I take 10 pieces of paper and put them in a blender and make a mango shake? take 300 Australian dollars and blend it up in a blender and get a mango shake? And I'm giving you such a tasty thing, such a delectable, delightful thing I'm giving you. Gauranga and Krishna.